Phil Bauman with HealthIsSocial, with a little bit of some tips and a little bit of a pleasant rant about attribution from healthcare bloggers, or people who are talking about healthcare, either doctors, nurses, communicators, because I've seen somewhat of a trend which is a little disappointing, and I figured I'd make this so I can help people. If you're a nurse or a doctor or a healthcare marketer, communicator, if you're new to blogging and in healthcare, healthcare is starting to find, as an industry, healthcare is starting to finally understand that they need to use social media, or they decided that they're going to use social media, are new. And blogging is kind of a new thing, if you've just come in the last couple of years or the last few months. It's very important in blogging, just to give you some background. The web is made of a bunch of hyperlinks. That's why they call it the web. It's like each link is like a little thread, a spider thread, okay? So the link is a really important currency in the web. It helps people to credit other people. It helps to provide information, and looks to say, hey, look at what I found. Or you should go check out this post over here, or this resource over here. So if you're in healthcare blogging and you're new to this, it's really important that when you're reading other people's posts, and if you're inspired by them, or there's something that triggers you to write your post, so if you read something today and then you write something tomorrow and it's influenced by it, it's considered usually customary and it's a courtesy to link back to say, hey, you know, there's this other post here that gives another view that I'm having. It's very easy to unconsciously forget that, right? We read things every day, and you might not realize that you've been influenced by that. Totally cool. That's perfectly fine. But if you knowingly read something, and then the next day write it, and even though you're not plagiarizing, even though it's a different, maybe it's a slightly different theme, if it's been influenced and you know that it was, then you really ought to consider attribution. It's not hard to do. It's just a little link. And if you're not doing it because you don't want to bring attention to it, or for some weird idea you think you're being competed against with another blogger, I have to tell you that is the opposite of what you should be doing with blogging. If you want to ramp up your blog and you want even more page views, if you want more community building, then you need to do the opposite of the normal reflex with respect to competition. In fact, if you have a competitor, then you need to those are the people you actually want to promote, because they're the ones that are going to make you better. They're the ones that are going to get conversation going. And especially in healthcare, there's a little bit of a higher standard in healthcare than there is, say, in the cereal industry or a lot of other industries. So, and especially if you have a license to practice, you really need to kind of put yourself under that. So I'm not saying it's the end of the world, and I'm not saying that you have to attribute. What I'm just putting a little shoulder tap on those of you who are blogging, and this applies to me too. If you're reading and you get influenced, consider attribution. It's not hard to do. And just be aware that it can happen. Okay? So here are some real simple tips. One, before you hit publish, and just generally speaking, before you hit the publish button, make sure the post looks good. Make sure that, you know, do of course your editorializing and stuff. But also think, you know, did I read something recently that maybe this? Or even if you didn't, maybe it's something you just did right out of the thin air. Consider, hey, did somebody in fact actively look for it? Has somebody else talked about this? And might this be of interest and relevance to my readers? Not to mention it's just good for you to do that, right? So that's one tip. And two, if you are reading, if you're using RSS or you're following links on Twitter or you're Google searching, and you come across something that says to you, maybe I need to write on this, write that down. Copy that link, put it somewhere, note it either in Google Docs or your blog editor. Maybe you know set up drafts of posts and put that link there, or have a note somewhere that says this is what's really cool about this. So the next day or the next week, when you write this stuff, you have links to do. So be careful on the web. The web is all seeing. You leave an audit trail. You are exposing yourself to the entire world in theory. People keep analytics. People know what their inbound links. They watch trackbacks. They're probably reading you. So I only bring this up because it's not a huge problem, but in the last 2 years, as more and more healthcare people have come on, I'm not just talking about individuals, I'm sort of seeing some institutions do this. So generally speaking, and not just on blogs, if you're inspired or influenced by somebody else, promote that person. I mean, really, it's a small thing, but it's important. Health is social. Blogging is social. The whole thing is social. And if we want to keep it social, then make it social. Don't do the opposite, okay? It takes years to build up a blog. It takes minutes to wreck it. And there are a lot of really amazing... Last year, I've seen some really great bloggers come out. And very few of them are doing this. So I'm not going to mention any particular names. I just throw it out there because I've been seeing a little bit of it. And I want to keep the really good bloggers blogging. I want more healthcare bloggers doing really good stuff. I want more doctors. I want more nurses and other healthcare professionals, and even healthcare marketers to get involved. So be smart and just have fun and be social about this stuff. Phil Bauman here with HealthIsSocial. If you have any comments or questions, let me know, either on my blog or via email, phil@philbauman, or on the Twitter. I'm at Phil Bauman. I'm also at HealthIsSocial. I'm also a whole bunch of other stuff. So reach out to me if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you. Cheers.